Oh, hi, Paul Slackers, Good News Broadcast, speaking to Jason Simpson. Hi, Jason, how are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing great. How you doing?
All right, good. I always love speaking with you. He's the manager of coffee engagement for Starbucks. Been with them for a long time, 14 years, and he drinks 100 cups of, tastes 100 cups of, couldn't drink 100 cups, I guess, a day. You taste 100 cups of coffee a day. What a job you have. You must like it.
It definitely is a hobby that's turned into a career for me. You know, we evaluate probably about 250,000 cups of coffee per year just to make sure that it's the best quality coffee possible for our customers.
And Jason actually worked his way up the whole system. You've been there 14 years, right? Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, 14 years. I mean, I started out in stores down in San Diego and just fell in love with coffee. I love talking about it, and the more I knew, the more I wanted to know. And 10 years down in Southern California, I then got to join the coffee department about 4.5 years ago, and I've really just been kind of continuing to do what I love, which is tasting coffee and getting to share it with our partners and our customers. And a lot of it is the story of coffee, where it comes from in the world, how Starbucks roasts it, and then of course how we deliver it to our customers each and every day. So it's quite a wonderful job I have.
Yes, and we've interviewed you before in the past, and it's always good. So I'm going to ask some real technical questions here, okay? You ready?
All right.
All right,
yes.
The 4 fundamentals of brewing are?
So the 4 fundamentals of brewing are water, proportion, grind, and freshness. Water is probably the most important to start out with because 98% of your cup of coffee is water. So utilizing a cup of coffee or utilizing the best quality water will kind of translate into a good cup of coffee. Heating that water just off boil so that it's hot enough to really extract the flavors that the coffee has to provide. Second is utilizing the right amount of coffee called proportion. So we recommend 2 tablespoons for 6 ounces of water. And then if you like something that's not quite as kind of robust in terms of flavor, dilute it after the fact with water to make it a little less intense. And then grind. You need to really find the right grind to match the type of brewer that you're using. For example, an espresso machine uses very fine grind because it's only spending a couple of seconds with the water versus say a coffee press or a drip brewer, which spends several minutes with the water and coffee together. So that'll be a lot more coarse. And then really the last thing is treating the coffee as in terms of its freshness with kind of the utmost respect. You have to make sure that you take care of that coffee, treat it like produce. When you get that coffee home, store it properly. Make sure that you're keeping it free of kind of light, heat, moisture. Those are all the things that together will produce a great cup of coffee, no matter if you're here in Seattle, or customers kind of across the globe at home.
Okay. Great. Actually, March 22nd is World Water Day. We've had Ethos Water on Good News, and we do the show called the Water Hour. Water is extremely important. Do you think we can talk tap water, or do you need bottled water, or what do you think?
Well, it depends on where you live. I can say that the water in Seattle coming off the tap is pretty phenomenal. So depending on what type, if your tap water is something that you drink without filtering it, then I would say yes. If it's something that you need to filter, then you need a filter to kind of make it kind of drinkable. So it really is going to depending on where you're at.
When you say 2 tablespoons, and that's not teaspoons, actually with baby foods now, they say tablespoons and teaspoons might not be the same size. Just if you get your average spoon, a big spoon and a little spoon, let's call it. Is there some, are you better off with actual measuring something, or and do you, like get it up to the top as opposed to just taking a spoon? That's where I think I mess up. I throw a spoon in there. I don't know how high to go. Should it be a level spoonful? What?
I would say it's kind of a standard spoon that you would be, using at home, nothing kind of giant like a soup spoon or too small like a baby spoon, but definitely I would say a well-rounded heaping scoop is going to get you kind of closer to that exact proportion. And it does matter because, the exact proportion, the closer you do that, it really supports the better extraction and brewing of that particular coffee.
And you said 2 ounces, so so you said two tablespoons for 6 ounces. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, that's a good amount of coffee, and that's for a good strong cup of coffee. Would you call that or not?
Yeah, I mean, Starbucks is known for really with our kind of signature Starbucks roast. I mean, we're definitely a very kind of hearty, bold cup of coffee, and so with that brewing method, that really allows for the coffee, how it was grown and how it was roasted, to really the best possible. But like I said before, I mean, if you like something a little bit less intense, adding water afterwards to help kind of dilute it down to your intensity is the way to go.
Aha, okay. Excellent, all right. A lot of good things here. So, in essence, how's a caffeine affect? Does every coffee have caffeine? How do they make not decaffeinated coffee?
Well, I mean, caffeine is going to differ based on a number of factors from the type of coffee tree it is. I mean, all of Starbucks is high quality Arabica coffee, so it's approximately 1% by weight. But how you brew coffee, how much you use, there's so many varieties, variables that come into the caffeine level of coffee. From a decaf perspective, I mean, they actually take coffee is decaffeinated before it's roasted. So coffee starts out, as a seed inside of a fruit. You then remove that seed, which is called processing, all of which will add flavors to it by the way in which you do that. And then the beans will be decaffeinated in a number of different ways, which, then will be roasted afterwards. And the way we decaf coffee at Starbucks, we have a couple different ways we do it, but mainly to be able to preserve the flavor the best possible in how we decaffeinate it versus, kind of altering or changing the flavor.
Okay, Jason, you have a lot of other people to talk to. Starbucks does a great job. They're a great community-minded organization, socially responsible. Thank you for being that. Last quick question, what's good news for Jason Simpson?
So good news for me is that we are celebrating bold coffees at Starbucks. So you come in, try a favorite coffee over the next 8 weeks, and I'm sure that you'll find a new favorite.
Okay, fantastic. Jason, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for sharing good news. Bye-bye.